Hey everybody, it's Dina Rico, and welcome to another edition of Friday Quickie Techniques and Tips. I love what I've picked for today's technique, and it is super fun and really easy. Now, I know you guys say to me sometimes, it looks so easy, or I make it look so easy, but this really is easy. And I have lots of different tips to share with you for today. So my topic is gradient stamping. Also, probably could be called ombre stamping, but I think ombre kind of refers to shades of one color. Now, here's why I think that. We have new ombre pads this year with Stampin' Up. And these pads are basically one color. So like Bermuda Bay is the one color in here, and then it's shades of that one color. You can see it goes from light down to the dark color. And that is great and wonderful, but sometimes a girl wants to add more than one shade or color into her cards. So I kind of like to be able to include other things. Thus, I chose gradient stamping, and it's my technique, and I can make it up if I want to. So there. I love, though, that this is just so fun and easy. So let me share with you how I made this card, because it really is pretty simple. Now, first, actually, before I do that, though, I want to take, and this is just the stamp. Let me grab the set. This is from the new set Summer Sorbet, and this was designed to go with these really cool ombre pads. And don't get me wrong, ombre rocks. I'm all about it. But sometimes you want some more options. I'm just saying, a girl likes to keep her options open, right? So I'm going to use the Rich Razzleberry ombre pad, and let's see how I want to do this. I guess I'll have the lightest color be at the top of my heart and then the darkest color at the bottom. So when I stamp with this, in fact, let me share with you what it looks like. I'm not inking this up super good to start with because I want you to see how the pad works. So if you just tap, tap, tap and stamp, you're going to get kind of these lines between the colors, especially right there. Can you see the lines? But if you kind of tap and twist, then you get more even coverage of the ink, which you can kind of see there. It's much more even. So again, tap and twist. Okay, and that looks pretty good to me. And then I'm just going to stamp this down on my card. And there you have a beautiful ombre look. So it's nice and light at the top and nice and dark at the bottom. Very pretty. So of course I'll have to jazz this up and create a card out of it, and I'll put that on my blog. But I wanted to share with you another way I used these ombre pads. So let me close that one up. And on this card, I am going to use the Bermuda Bay ombre pad, because if you've known me for very long, you know that I am truly an aqua girl. In fact, let me bring that back. I love shades of any color of aqua. So I was thrilled to see that Bermuda Bay, the best color in the world, was part of this collection. So what I did was I took a piece of watercolor paper, and this just was like, I wonder what will happen if I drag this across my cardstock. That's literally how this came about. So that's literally what I'm going to do. I'm just going to take and kind of go like that a few times. Okay, that's all I did. You saw that, right? I mean, I just literally brushed the ink pad across the cardstock. Okay, I will close that up and tell you that that's not all that you can do. I'm going to go ahead with my aqua painter and sort of blend in and fill in that color, which is why I chose watercolor paper for this versus like white cardstock or something else. And I cleaned off my brush just a little so that I wasn't bringing that dark color all the way down, because we want to keep the ombre look going. Even though, like I said, this is gradient stamping. A girl's got to stick to her guns on her terminology if she's going to pick it, right? Okay, so there is my coloring. I think that looks pretty good. And you can see it's going to look different every time you do it. It won't be the same every time, which I think is kind of nice. It lends itself to stamping and being handmade, I guess is more what I meant. Okay, so there's that. So I'm going to let that set aside. Just a real plain basic background, but I like kind of the texture bumps of the cardstock pick up kind of the darker and lighter colors on here, which is kind of neat. Okay, so I'll set this aside to dry. What I'm going to do next is work with my half a sheet of cardstock. And oh, actually, I have to tell you one other thing. So this is also where this came from. So this is the catalog. And there is this amazing sidebar of all the colors of our cardstock right here, and every time I look at this it makes me happy. It's all these beautiful colors of cardstock, and how awesome is this? So every time I see that I come back to it, and that's part of where today came from as well, because while that is definitely an ombre, it is also a gradient, given that there's all those different colors on there. So, and any of you who have more specific and arty definitions for what I'm saying, well, it's my term and I can define it as I want to. So, I know I'm not using technical terms. I haven't looked them up. I've not done the background research. I just think it looks cool when I make the card. So there you have it. All right. So again, we want this to dry. And in fact, I might stop this so I can dry it. Hold up. Okay. So I used my heat gun to heat dry this, to just so that it would dry faster so that I could make my card. And I love that you can do it. And I also like that it kind of reverses the curling. Now it's curling a little bit in the opposite direction, but it works really well. I'll add my adhesive. This is Fast Fuse. I especially like Fast Fuse on projects like this because it's such good sticky goodness. It's great for really adhering down that curled paper onto my card. Okay, so there we have that. And I'm going to use this gorgeous die cut. This is from the bundle. Let me pull it out here. The Flourishing Phrases, and I believe these are called Flourishing Framelits. Here are some of them. I've been using a couple of them. Obviously, this is one. There's a flower and I think a smaller flower that I'm missing. But so pretty. Oh dear. This is one of those sets that's 2 sets together, and actually that's a good tip for me to share with you. So this is a set that comes in 2 boxes, and I've got another one here, and I wanted to show you what I do. So there's 2 boxes here. They come rubber banded together. I prefer to keep them in one case. So what I'm going to do with a set like this is open it up, and I will put one set on one side and the other one on the other side, and I'll keep the inserts in there. Okay, then I will remove the insert and I will fold, you know, where it's folded for the case naturally. I'll fold that back and place it on the back side of my case. So actually I'm going to take all this out so I can do that. But I'll put it on the back side so that I do have all of the stamped images showing, but then I can fit all of those stamps into one case. Now they won't all be on the spine, but I can get over that because I can see them both on the front and the back. So that way I have combined my 2 sets down into one case, and they fit just fine. I mean, it's a little tighter than obviously if it was just a single case, but I think it works great. So that's a good tip for you. And then you can use this for other stuff. Okay, so back to my card. I just die cut this using the precision plate and my die brush, because that gets all these little pieces out. I only had to poke one out, so everybody was happy. I will take and adhere this with glue. And to do that, I'm just going to put glue on the dots on here and some of the stems where something is attached, because there's a little bit more space to put the glue on. Okay, like there, and maybe a little there. And if there's not glue everywhere, that is okay. I don't intend on manhandling this card too much. So then I will attach this to my card like so, and just give it a good press to adhere everything down. And now it's on. It sticks out a little, so I'll snip that off with my scissors if I can find them. They're somewhere. I don't know where they went, but let me show you the next step. So I'm going to, and actually I struggled with how to do this, but I think I came up with kind of an awesome solution. I want to adhere this new black metallic thread. So what I did was I placed a glue dot down right about there. Whoops. like so. And I'm going to place one end of the thread in that glue dot. I press it in there with my nail, give it a good pressing so it's adhered nicely. And then I'm just going to wrap this around several times. I like to make sure that I'm covering a little bit of space. They're kind of crisscrossing a little because I think that looks good. And then I will adhere the other end down right here. And you're probably thinking, that's delightful, Dina. Here are my scissors. But you are going to have a glue dot sticking there, and that's not very attractive. But as you probably might know from your own personal experience, there's nothing better than covering stuff up with rhinestones. Rhinestones and flower punches fix many of my mistakes. And so I placed the rhinestone right over that. And since I figured it would be kind of dumb to have just one rhinestone, I added several more. So I put some of the medium-sized ones in the middle and then the small ones as we go up. How's that for classy and nice? I'll stick one right there. So now I have an odd number of embellishments because I think odd numbers look better. That's how they come in nature. And then it fits nicely on my card. And since we have my scissors, we'll just snip that little stem off and nobody's the wiser. And last, but certainly not least, we have to add a greeting to this baby. And so I will go back to my stamp set and say, this doesn't really seem like a sympathy card because, unless you're, going back to your mafia funerals, you don't usually embellish those with bling, just saying. But I used just a note on my card and it's sitting out on my desk somewhere. You should really see outside of the camera because it's not pretty. I've had a bit of creative block trying to come up with projects since I returned home from my unbelievable, fabulous European vacation, and let's just say things are not going as smoothly as I'd hoped in the creative area. Can't find it. Oh well. I stamped just a note right there. Anyway, I think that this is such a cute card and really simple. And of course, you could do the background in any color combination. But I want to show you a couple more projects that I've made that are also gradient stamping. The first one is this one. Really simple. I took and placed a Post-it note right here, and then I just stamped up a gradient in color. I used Pink Pirouette, Blushing Bride, Flirty Flamingo, Watermelon Wonder, Melon Mambo, Real Red, and Rose Red. How's that? Pretty good, huh? And then I stamped the little dots and then the hooray. And that is from a set that is called Perfectly Wrapped. A super fun, cute set that's supposed to go with gift wrapping, but whatever, I love the set for cards. I think it's super cute. Okay, so that was a really cute and easy card, and I'll have pictures of these on my blog, by the way. And then this one, last but not least, I had to use the paper pumpkin kit from this month. So to create this background, I am going to do gradient sponging, okay? And I will speed up the sponging process, so I'm not going to talk through it, but I'm just using sponges and ink. I'm using a couple of the new in colors, Peekaboo Peach and Flirty Flamingo. And then here we go. Here's my Peekaboo Peach. I'm just going to sponge this on, and like I said, I'll speed this up, so I'm going to stop talking. Okay, so here you can see I've sponged the colors together. I kind of left a teensy bit of a border because these two colors don't really blend together, but as you can see, these two do, and so do these two. Then all I have to do is place it inside my card. Now you might be wondering where this card came from. This is Paper Pumpkins card from May. And if you haven't noticed, there's a special on Paper Pumpkin. It's a 24-hour sale. So tonight is the end of the sale. You get a Paper Pumpkin kit for $5 for new subscribers, which is an amazing deal. And all you have to do is sign up. There'll be a link in my blog post for you to check out. But this is the card that I used. And of course, I made a boo-boo on my project. I should have adhered this to the back to this part of the card, but instead I adhered it inside the card. Oops, my bad. So let's do it correctly here. I'll turn this over and adhere it. Oh, and I just did it again. Seriously, are you at home yelling at the screen? Seriously, Dina. Okay, I will adhere it to the card like so that when I open it, it will open. Really? Okay, but anyway, to finish this up, I'm just going to stamp in here and add a greeting right here. That probably use the one that came in the stamp set. And again, I'll post these pictures on my blog so you can check them out. If you would like to become a Creativity Cave VIP, or if you already are, I will have some extra pictures and projects on our VIP page using this technique. So check it out. If you aren't a VIP, all you got to do is order through the Creativity Cave, and I'd love to welcome you to our fabulous program. There's lots of perks, and you can check out all those details on my blog. Thank you so much, guys. Have an awesome weekend. Bye.